Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, for Game 1 of the 3-game series. Temperature on the cool side, and it gets very miserable if you talk to the weatherman starting tomorrow. They're talking about rain tomorrow and the possibility of snow on Thursday, but we'll take the days as they come. Paul LaDuca's in the sunshine warming up, and the Dodger lineup will have Roberts, Asturias, and Bradley, followed by Green, LaDuca, Encarnacion, Beltre, Hernandez, and Ishii on the mound. And Dave Roberts in the box, and the left-hander Joe Kennedy ready to go to work. And his first pitch is low and inside, ball 1. Roberts has been on base by hit or walk in all 11 games in which he has played. The 1-0 pitch on the way. He is almost hit by the pitch, just did get out of the way, and the count 2-0. Dave is batting .250 with 2 runs batted in, but he's walked 11 times. Joe Kennedy last year pitched with a bad arm and wound up with a bad record. He was 3-12 with Tampa Bay. The left-hander kicks and comes back with a pitch in for a strike, and the count 2-1. So Roberts trying to get started against a big left-hander who is 6'4", about 240, and from La Mesa, not too far away from San Diego. Now the 2-1 pitch lifted to left center and deep. Burnitz, however, plenty of room, goes back to make the catch. So 1 away. So Roberts a fly ball to center, 1 out, and Joe Kennedy now going to work on Cesar Izturis. Izturis hitting .277. He has an 8-game hitting streak in the number 2 slot and takes low, ball 1, 1-0. Joe Kennedy, no relation, of course, to the famous Kennedy family, and as he points out, he was named after his maternal grandfather, who was a registered Republican. Meanwhile, out at first base is Izturis, and just like that on a number halfway to first base. So with 2 down, Milton Bradley will be coming up. We'll take a look at the Rockies defensively. Helton and Miles, Clayton and Castilla, Holiday, Burnitz, and Pello. Charles Johnson behind the plate. And on the mound, Joe Kennedy now working on Milton Bradley. So 2 out in the first inning. The Dodgers have won 9 of the last 10 they've played here in Colorado, and Bradley takes a fastball for a strike. So Milton hitting .255, leading the Dodgers in RBIs with 13. Batting right-handed against Kennedy. Joe deals and he's low, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. So Joe Kennedy, a young left-hander, ambidextrous, could throw with either hand. The 1-1 pitch, low and away, ball 2. When he was 3 years old, his dad, who was a truck driver, took him to San Diego, where he met Jack McKeon, who was then the general manager. And McKeon said to his father, if you want him to go to the big leagues, make him left-handed. Well, he's left-handed. He is here. He throws out Bradley on a comebacker, and the Dodgers are done in the first inning. So at the end of half an inning, the Dodgers nothing, and the Rockies coming up. Dodgers failed to score in the first inning, going out 1-2-3. The Rockies now getting ready to come up against Kaz Ishii. Ishii, with a record of 2-0, beat Colorado earlier at Dodger Stadium. His 4-3 lifetime. He'll be facing Aaron Miles, followed by Royce Clayton. Todd Helton hits 3rd in the lineup. Then Vinny Castilla and Charles Johnson, Jeremy Burnitz and Kit Pello, Matt Holliday in left field batting 8th, and Joe Kennedy the pitcher. Kaz Ishii ready to go to work and try to keep it going. The Dodgers, with a 5-game winning streak, all on the road, have won 9 out of 10 in this ballpark, and they have won 4 straight series. So Ishii ready to go to work to Aaron Miles, and Miles looks at the first pitch, high, ball 1. Aaron Miles is from Pittsburgh, California, lives in Antioch, and was originally a 19th round pick by the Astros. And the pitch in for a strike, and the count to Aaron is 1-1. His mother, an aide at a high school, His father, a former boxer turned microbiologist, and he once sparred with George Foreman. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Miles hits it foul outside of first, and the count 1-2. The Dodgers have had a lot of good luck here in this ballpark. Of the 67 games played at Coors Field, the Dodgers have won 37 of them. 16 times they've scored 10 or more runs, and they've averaged 7 runs a game here. So Ishii, who usually gets some runs, comes back with a fastball, and that's going to go foul down the line, out of play. Both of tonight's starters have received run support that border on the incredible. The highest run support per 9 innings in the major leagues, well, Ishii 10.6 and Kennedy 10.5. So 1-2 the count to Aaron Miles. Ishii ready. Kaz deals very high, and the count 2-2. So Kaz Ishii trying to break the seal on a homestand for the Rockies. The Rockies tough at home, dismal on the road. Now the 2-2 pitch coming up to Miles. Right-hand batter hits a curveball up the middle. Ishii behind second base, throws to first. Great stretch by Green, and Miles is retired. 1 away. So a fine play at both ends. First of all for Ishii to get behind the bag, and secondly a big stretch by Shawn Green at the other end of the throw. So Royce Clayton coming up, and Green just did keep that foot anchored on the bag. So LaDuca setting behind the plate with Green, Hernandez, Torres, and Beltre, Roberts, Bradley, and Encarnacion. Ishii delivers off speed and away. Ball 1. Royce Clayton, born in Burbank, lives in Scottsdale. Number 1 pick by the Giants out of Englewood High School. Actually St. Bernard High School in Playa del Rey. He takes the strike, and the count 1-1. He signed for a reported $165,000 plus $15,000 for his college education. He has made over $4.5 million, so he's had a very successful career. The 1-1 pitch bunted. Beltre, bare hand pickup, flicks it to Green in time to get him. There is no one who has ever played third base in the history of the game, I don't believe, who could make that play better than Adrian Beltre. A good bunt and a fellow who runs well, and somehow Beltre in one sweet motion flicks his wrist off balance throw and gets enough on it to get it to Green in time. Remarkable play, and with 2 down, the batter will be Todd Helton. Helton homered in 3 straight games in St. Louis, and he bangs one to the hole. Up with it is Ishii, but no chance to make a throw. So is Torres flashing to the hole, and base hit number 1 or Kaz Ishii. So Helton, a 2-out single, and the batter will be Vinny Castilla. Castilla hitting .279. He has 4 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Originally picked up by the Braves, they purchased him from the Mexican League 14 years ago. He eventually came over to the Rockies in the expansion draft in 1993. Had a good career here, then went to the Devil Rays, the Astros, back to the Braves, and now he's back with Colorado. Ishii said, looks at Helton, big curveball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. The breeze, and it's blowing pretty hard, blowing from left to right, would certainly influence a ball hit to right field. So Vinny waiting, no balls and 1 strike to count in spacious Coors Field. Strike 1 pitch, off speed and high. 347 down the left field line, 390 to left field, 415 to center, 375 to right center, and 350 down the right field line. Of course, 2 big guns are missing from the armament of the Rockies, Larry Walker and Preston Wilson. Ground ball to Beltre. They'll get a force play at second, and that's the inning. So no runs a hit, a man left, and at the end of an inning, Dodgers nothing, Rockies. No scores. We go to the second inning. The Dodgers and Rockies at Coors Field, opening up a 3-game series. Last time they faced each other, the Dodgers won the first 2 games and lost the finale 4-2. Joe Kennedy ready and deals. Sean Green holds up on a pitch high, ball 1. The Dodgers had beaten the Rockies 9 straight and 14 out of 17. So now they're trying to start anew here at Coors. The 1-0 pitch to Green is taken low, ball 2. Sean batting .317, then LaDuca hitting .512, and then Encarnacion. Kennedy's fastball fouled away, and the count 2-1. So the ambidextrous young 3-year-old decided to go left-handed and made his way to the big leagues, but he does everything right-handed except shoot a basketball and throw a baseball. Green, meanwhile, a little ground ball to Miles, and he throws him out easily. So Kennedy has retired 4 in a row. Say, friends, you know the Dodgers return home Friday at 7:10, hosting the Giants. All fans in attendance receive a free stadium bag, compliments of U.S. Bank. Call 323-2241-HIT or visit Dodgers.com for more information. With the Giants on the horizon, Jim Tracy has changed his rotation. Coming in here, we heard it was going to be Ishii, Nomo, and Perez. Into the windup goes Kennedy. The pitch to LaDuca, a strike. Paulie has hit in 11 straight. However, Tracy has opted now to pitch Lima here on Thursday afternoon, open up Friday night with Perez against the Giants. LaDuca takes low, and the count 1-1 strike. Paulie, one of the toughest in the league to strike out, averaging maybe a strikeout every 15 at bats, so he's really been remarkable. Kennedy comes back to him with a fastball away, and the count 2-1. The Dodgers, in winning 9 of the last 10, have pretty much overwhelmed the Rockies. But again, the Rockies are a poor team on the road, much tougher here as LaDuca fouls one away. Last year, the Rockies only won 25 games at home. On the road, they were 49 and at home they were 49 and 32. And Kent Hurdle immediately was worried because they went out on the road and lost 6 out of 9. So they won 2 out of 3, and they're home for their longest homestand of the year. LaDuca drives one foul down the left field line out of play. For the Rockies, even though they do better at home, they have quite a challenge. They have the first place Dodgers coming in. They have the first place Houston Astros. They have the world champion Florida Marlins, and then for good measure the Atlanta Braves. Joe Kennedy ready, 2-2 the count to Paul LaDuca. No score, 1 out, second inning. Kennedy turns on the rubber, and the big guy's fastball line, but right at Royce Clayton. So LaDuca hitting everything hard, even when they get him, and this time a bullet at the Rockies shortstop. So 2 down, and Juan Encarnacion coming up. The Colorado Rockies starting pitchers have an earned run average of almost 8. What is really terrifying for Clint Hurdle, the fact they've been on the road most of the time, to accumulate such a terrible ERA, almost 8. Then right back of him, Kansas City, St. Louis, and Arizona. Back comes Kennedy, and it's fouled away by Encarnacion, hitting .239. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. No score, 2 down, top of the second inning. Cool evening in Denver, and the strike 2 fastball is swung on and missed, and down goes Encarnacion. So 6 in a row retired by Joe Kennedy, and at the end of an inning and a half, Dodgers nothing, Rockies. Bottom of the second inning here in Denver, no score at Coors Field. Charles Johnson, Jeremy Burnett, and then Kip Pello in that order, and Kaz Ishii on the hill. Charles Johnson waiting at the plate, 4 for 10 in the past against Ishii. Kaz into the windup and delivers, and Big Charles takes low, ball 1, 1-0. So Johnson trying to get his club started in the second inning. They did have a base hit by Helton to the hole at short in the first. The 1-0 pitch, a little high, 2-0 the count to Charles Johnson. For Kaz Ishii, he defeated San Diego. He beat Colorado, so he is 2-0. And in his first 2 months of the season in his career, he's been very effective as Johnson swings and misses. He is 14-3 in the first 2 months of the season in his career, and he has 21 first-half victories the last 2 seasons. Here's the 2-1 pitch, fastball fouled off. So Kaz out in front again as usual, 2-0. Charles Johnson trying to get something started. The big catcher, who at one time was with the Dodgers, gives you a nice zone, 6'3", 255. Ishii into the windup. Kaz back with a fastball that's hammered to left center and deep at the 390 mark. It is gone. So the Rockies are first on the board as Charles Johnson hits it out. And the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. His 4th home run of the year. And for the Rockies, they now have 18 home runs. The Dodgers have hit 11. And there was no doubt about it, even though the breeze a little bit left to right didn't cut that one down, as Johnson got all of it, and it's 1-0 Colorado. Jeremy Burnett hits a ground foul outside of first and down the line, and the count 0-1. So after Charles Johnson reaches the seats, the former Dodger, another one, Jeremy Burnett, a left-hand hitter, checks in at the plate. Ishii rocks on the rubber, now turns left-hand is off-speed pitch, and that stayed high, and the count 1-1 strike. Jeremy Burnett's about as free a swinger as there is in the league. When he swings, he misses the pitch about 39% of the time. He has a look low, ball 2, 2-1. Of course, when you look over his career, he has struck out as many as 158 times and 150. But up here, they figure he'll make contact enough times to make it pay, just like Charles Johnson. So 1-0 Rockies. And the 2-1 pitch. Burnett swings a towering drive to right. Green just watching. So is right fielder Encarnacion, and that's way upstairs. So Burnett's following Charles Johnson with a home run. And the Rockies take a 2-0 lead. For Kaz Ishii, a shaky beginning. Ishii coming into the game had only allowed 1 home run. So now he's down 2-0. And again, nothing cheap about it. Burnett's hit that thing upstairs. Johnson hit his into the bleachers. And the batter now will be Kip Pello. Here at Mile High Stadium, there is a row of purple seats upstairs in right field. And that purple tells you that's exactly 1 mile above sea level. Well, Burnett didn't quite hit it up there, but when you talk about a hitter hitting one a mile, this is the place to see it. So Pello at the plate takes a strike, then looks at a ball, and the count 1-1. So Charles Johnson and Jeremy Burnett hit him out. Kit Pello out of Kansas City. He was with the Royals briefly 2 years ago. Right-hand batter. 1-1 pitch is low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. He's a graduate of high school in the Kansas City suburbs. They drafted him in the 60th round. He said no. He went to the University of Arkansas. They then drafted him in the 22nd round. 2-1 pitch, and Pello slices one foul out of play, and the count 2-2. Of course, it's a far cry to have Holiday and Pello instead of Preston Wilson and Larry Walker. Wilson had his knee operated on. It was not as serious as first thought, and so Preston could be back by the end of May, early June. Same story for Larry Walker, who's been out with a bad groin. Meanwhile, Pello swings and misses, and down he goes. Strikeout number 1 for Ishii. You know, the Dodgers hosting the Giants next weekend. We told you about Friday night. Sunday at 1:10, all fans in attendance receive a free Ultra Suede cap, compliments of Farmer John. So give us a call, 323-2241-HIT, or check Dodgers.com for more information. Now the batter is Matt Holliday, young right-hand hitter, takes off the plate, ball one, 1-0. Holliday was a great high school quarterback. He was ranked second in the country. He went to Stillwater High School in Stillwater, Oklahoma. The 1-0 pitch, and that's low, ball two. He is the son of the University of Texas baseball coach Tom Holliday, who also coached at State when he was there. His dad played in the Pirates organization. Matt Holliday takes a strike, and the count 2-1. Matt passed up a chance of playing football and baseball at Oklahoma State, signed and got a bonus of $844,000. 2-1 pitch. Holliday swings right through it. He's a big, good-looking hitter, 6'4", 235, a 7th-round pick by the Rockies, and he has a brother who is a first baseman in the Blue Jays organization. So Matt Holliday, Holliday, played in the Rookie League, was on the Colorado Springs roster, but here he is with a big club, batting .300. He has 1 run batted in. Ishii rocks, turns now, and the 2-2 pitch on the way is a fastball low, ball 3. In November of last year, Holliday was a last-minute addition to Team USA after he had a huge time in the Arizona Fall League. Played in a qualifying tournament in Panama, but lost to Mexico. 3-2 pitch on the way. Holliday swings a fly ball down the right field line. Encarnacion coming to the chalk, but it's well back in the stand, out of play. So Matt Holliday comes back to try it again. 3-2 the count. 1 out, 2 runs in on home runs by Johnson and Burnitz, and the Rockies lead 2-0. So Holliday back up to the plate. The only thing Holliday doesn't do very well is run. Now the 3-2 pitch coming up to Matt. Ishii delivers, and that's fouled away. When Holliday was in the minor leagues, he was rated the 9th best prospect in the Rockies organization before spring training began. So Holliday waiting with 1 out. Joe Kennedy on deck. Here comes Ishii, and the fastball slap foul down the right field line. That will go back into the stands, and the count stays. It wasn't until a couple of years ago that Holliday moved to the outfield. He had some problems at third base, so they put him in the outfield, and they want to take a good long look at him. On deck, Joe Kennedy. Here's the 3-2 pitch, a hopper off the glove and on out into right field. Hernandez got a glove on it, and that's all, and Holliday is aboard. So Matt hit it hard, but it also hit Hernandez right in the glove. We would assume it's an error, but we'll wait and see as Joe Kennedy comes up. So Holliday kept going the other way with Ishii, and now they have changed the hit column to 4. So give young Matt Holliday a base hit, and why not? We're in Colorado. However, it's a tough break for Ishii, pitching out of a stretch. Kennedy pops the first pitch up. Sean Green, foul ground, backing up, still in foul, now in fair, and makes the catch for the out. So Joe Kennedy swings at the first pitch and pops up, and with 2 down, instead of the inning being over, Holliday is at first, and Aaron Miles coming up. Aaron Miles, 5'8", 170, grounded to short in the first inning. He's the kid whose dad built him a batting cage in the backyard. It still stands. Aaron says if it wasn't for that cage, he wouldn't be here. Ishii ready, and they run, and the throw down to second is in time to get Holliday. That's a surprise. We had just mentioned the one thing that Holiday doesn't do is run well. But I guess they thought he could beat LaDuca. Instead, home runs by Johnson and Burnitz, 2-0 Rockies. And their passionate pursuit of perfection. We're going to the third inning, 2-0 in favor of the Rockies. Adrian Beltre to start it off against Joe Kennedy, and the left-hander's fastball fouled away down the line, out of play. Beltre hitting .362, 4 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Dodgers checked out Kennedy, the left-hander ready, and the strike one pitch, very high. Pretty good fastball, anywhere from 90 to 94. Very good curveball, decent change, and last year began throwing what they call a slurve, half slider, half curve. 1-1 pitch on the way. Good fastball on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 1-2. Last year, left-handed batters hit only .230 against Kennedy, but right-handers mashed him for .324, so that's where he has to improve. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed, and that takes care of Beltre. Second strikeout for Joe Kennedy, 1 out, and it'll bring up Jose Hernandez. Hernandez not playing much, but when he does, he made the most of it. 5 for 11, hitting .455, and one of the big reasons, hitting better than .420 against left-hand pitchers. Kennedy deals, and the fastball is high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Beautiful evening, sunset time here in Denver. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Kennedy doesn't work slow. He's right after you, and so is Hernandez, with a shot up the middle for a base hit. So Jose Hernandez playing against left-handers and really making it count. Though after Kennedy retired 7 in a row, he gives up the base hit, and the batter will be Ishii. When Kennedy originally signed with the Tampa Bay Rays, the Devil Rays, he got a bonus of $45,000 that really came in handy. He said he came from a middle to lower class neighborhood. Ishii fouls a bunt back. He said, my folks weren't destitute, but we had to get our hands dirty to make a dollar. His dad drove trucks for a living, and Joe said, we probably moved, in my 21 years living at home, we probably moved 18 times. My dad would get a better job, or we'd find a place a little nicer. Said sometimes, a couple of times, we moved just 2 doors away. Strike one pitch, a swinging foul by Ishii, and the count 0-2. So young Joe Kennedy has been a traveling man. He's 24, he'll be 25 the end of May, from La Mesa. Went to Grossmont Junior College. Joe out of a stretch. Off the bag is Hernandez. Ishii shows bunt, lunges at it, and misses for strike 3. So Ishii strikes out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Kennedy, and the batter will be Dave Roberts. So Kennedy off to a good start. 3 strikeouts, 1 hit, and leading 2-0. So Dave Roberts, who flied to center in the first inning, coming up against a 24-year-old left-hander. For Joe Kennedy, his victory last Wednesday, he beat the Diamondbacks 14-4. He deals fastball strike, and the count 0-1. That was his first victory since May of last year. He had a 9-game losing streak over 24 appearances and 14 starts. Now the strike one pitch coming up. Roberts backs off, and the pitch is up and in, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 years ago, Kennedy started against the Dodgers, went 9, struck out 4, and beat the Dodgers 11-2. Throw to first, back to the bag is Hernandez. Rockies had home runs back to back. Charles Johnson to the left center field seats, and Jeremy Burnett's upstairs to right. Kennedy, another look over at Hernandez with 2 out. 1-1 pitch to Roberts, and that's high. Ball 2, 2-1. Kermit Danley is the plate umpire, with Marvin Hudson, Dana Demuth, Jim Joyce. Kerwin Danley, born in Los Angeles, went to school at San Diego State. In fact, he was a teammate of Tony Gwynn. Now the 2-1 pitch to Dave Roberts. Fastball fouled off third into the lower deck. Well, Dave is still there, 2-2, batting .243. Dodgers, having won 4 consecutive series, now taking dead aim at number 5, and the Rockies taking dead aim at them. Jim Tracy in first place with his club 3.5 games in front of both the Giants and the Padres. Dodgers haven't been in that spot in a couple of years. Should the Dodgers win, the best record of late would go back to 1981 when they were 10-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Roberts wings at a curveball and doesn't get it. So Joe Kennedy strikes out the side to give him 4. No runs, no 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of 2.5, 2-0. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Aaron Miles to lead it off takes a strike. Miles set a career high with 4 hits Saturday when the Rockies lost to the Cardinals 8-4. He has 8 runs batted in, which is just great for a rookie. Bobby Crosby of Oakland has 9, and Miles takes inside on the count 1 ball and 1 strike. It has not been easy for Aaron Miles. First of all, being 5'8", 170, then he was banged up with injuries, but he refused to quit on himself. Even though the White Sox gave up on him, here he is playing with the Rockies. Takes high and outside, ball 2, and the count 2-1. Miles, originally drafted by the Astros, a 27-year-old rookie, so he has certainly paid his dues. Here's the 2-1 pitch, line drive over the head of Hernandez into right field. Up with it is Encarnacion. So Miles leads off with a single to right, and the batter will be Royce Clayton. A reminder, stay tuned to Fox Sports Net 2 after the game. Highlights of all of today's sports action. We'll present the Southern California Sports Report. We'll have complete Dodger coverage and a lot more. And on 980 KFWB, be sure to stay with us for the post-game show with Ross Porter and Rick Monday. Royce Clayton tried to bunt his way aboard, and Adrian Beltre made a dazzling play to get him. There goes Miles. LaDuca's throw on a bounce and not in time. Well, they ran Holiday with 2 out in the 2nd inning, even though he doesn't run well. But that was understandable because they ran him with 2 out. So when they got Holiday, that meant Miles was going to lead off the next inning. But now Clint Hurdle sends the Dodgers a message. He's going to run at them as Miles steals. Now showing bunt, Clayton takes a strike. Colorado Rockies have only stolen 5 bases coming into this game. And for Miles, that was his first stolen base. So Clayton waiting. Miles at second, nobody out. Ishii delivers, and he does a good job, does Clayton, going the other way to Hernandez with a ground ball that moves Miles over to third. So a nice bit of hitting by Royce Clayton to advance his man. It's 2-0 in favor of the Rockies. And now Todd Helton coming up. Helton this winter put on about 24 pounds. Not because he was lazy and grew fat. He wanted to bulk up to have more power. Well, he has started off with home runs in 3 straight games. He has 3. Checks in with 8 RBIs, and he has Miles at third with 1 out. Ishii delivers, and it's foul back. Going head to head, Todd Helton is now 5 for 21 against Ishii when he had the base hit to the hole at short in the first inning. Helton, a remarkable hitter, needless to say, left-hand batter. hitting .391. Out of a stretch goes Ishii. Back he comes. Fastball, a little tight, a little high, and the count 1-1. So a bigger and more improved Helton. And a 1-1 count. Rockies got back-to-back home runs in the second inning. Charles Johnson and Jeremy Burnett. Now they're trying to pick up Miles from third. And with one out, the 1-1 pitch poked in the air to left field. Roberts coming up. It's going to land in front of him. So Miles scores. And that, ladies and gentlemen, sums up Coors Field. If you play the outfield here, you have to play so deep that routine fly balls fall in. And a routine fly ball just fell into left field. And instead of a fly ball, it's a base hit, a run batted in. For Helton 2 for 2. Miles carries in the third run of the game, and the Rockies lead 3-0. The batter now, Vinny Castillo, hit into a force play in the first inning. 3-0 in favor of Colorado in the third inning. Ishii sad looks over at Helton, now to the plate, and the pitch is low. So the base hit by Miles, and then the stolen base. Then the ground ball by Clayton, and that was important. And then the RBI single, the fly ball single to left by Todd Helton. Ishii straightens up, down 3-0 here in the third. Kaz ready and delivers. A fastball is whacked to left. Back goes Roberts. She is gone. 5-0 Colorado. So Vinny Castillo hits the third home run for the Rockies tonight. For Castillo, his fifth home run. He has 12 runs batted in. So Ishii had allowed one home run until he comes to Denver, and he has been pummeled. Johnson, Burnett, and Castillo. Kobe out to the mound to talk to him. Timeout for the moment. So the Dodgers are going to have to get on their horses. They have averaged 7 runs per game. They have scored in double figures 16 times in Coors, but they're down 5-0 in the third inning. And Charles Johnson, who homered in the second inning, is coming up. So Kaz Ishii being pounded here. 2 home runs in the second inning. A single and another base hit for a run, and then the home run by Castillo. Check swing by Johnson. A roller to Beltre. Plenty of time. Throws to first and got him anyway on a toe dance by Sean Green. One problem it could be for infielders, it is cool. Your hands get very slick, and Beltre flipping that ball over the green almost threw it away. So Vinny Castillo, a big 2-run home run. 5-0 Rockies. 2 runs in the second, 3 in the third, and the left-hand hitting Burnett takes inside, ball 1. Where Charles Johnson hit it over the 390 sign, and where Vinny Castillo hit it about 350 and out, Burnett hit it up and out. Jeremy takes low and inside. His ball went way upstairs to right field. Coors Field. Boy, they hit him here. Don't the Dodgers know? Now the 2-0 pitch coming up to Jeremy Burnett. 5-0 Rockies, and it's low and outside, ball 3. Hideo Nomo and Scott Ellerton tomorrow night. Jose Lima and Sean Estes. Estes beat the Dodgers, and they'll go Thursday afternoon. Next one, a strike to Burnett, and the count 3-1. So Kaz Ishii being pushed around, and now working on Jeremy. A whiz from Westminster like Ryan Klesko, and the 3-1 pitch low and away, ball 4. For Ishii, that's the first walk that he's allowed. Of course, you can't afford to walk many and be around in this ballpark. And for Kaz, he has been averaging a little more than 6 walks for every 9 innings pitched. And no active starting pitcher has issued more walks per 9 than Kaz. So here is Kip Pello, who struck out in the 2nd inning. And there goes Burnitz. The throw to first, down to short, and Izturis puts the tag on Burnitz. So the Rockies must feel they can really run on Ishii and LaDuca. This time they could burn, but they lead 5. We're going to the 4th inning, and here's tonight's Aflac trivia question. In '95, Vinny Castilla was part of only the 2nd foursome to hit 30 home runs in a season. Can you name the first foursome to do it? Give you the answer in a while, but right now, as you look at Vinny Castilla, it's Cesar Izturis who takes low, ball 1. Izturis thrown out by Johnson in the 1st inning, 0 for 1. That evens it up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Izturis, Bradley, and Green, the way the Dodgers stack up here in the 4th. Fastball fouled off. Izturis hitting .271 against big Joe Kennedy. 6'4", 235. Fastball. Oh, Izturis still there, 1-2. And fastball just inside. He hit 91 on the gun with it. 2-2. Foul the other way. When the Rockies were at Dodger Stadium, you remember Denny Stark started against Hideo Nomo. The Dodgers pushed him around for 6 runs in the first 3 innings. Well, Stark now is going to be assigned. He will be sent away from the Rockies. So Joe Kennedy moving into that slot. There are also 2 kids doing very well at Colorado Springs. One of them, Aaron Cook, might very well be coming up. Another foul ball. So Izturis hanging tough, batting .271. Fastball fouled off. Izturis now making Kennedy come up with his 10th pitch in this at bat. And it's hit to the hole, base hit to right field. So render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and this time it's a base hit to right field, and the batter will be Milton Bradley. And certainly to say the acquisition of Milton Bradley has paid off so far would be an understatement. No major league center fielder has driven in more runs than Bradley. Milton has 13 RBIs, 2 home runs, hitting .250. Batting right-handed against Kennedy. Big bouncer. Oh, what a nice stop by Castillo, and they're going to get 1. So Bradley loses a base hit on a sparkling play by Vinny Castillo. Well, Vinny not only hits a 2-run home run, he's got some magic in the glove. And by making that play, takes a possible big inning away. So instead of 2 on and nobody out, you have 1 on, 1 out, and Sean Green coming up. Green grounded out in the 2nd inning, hitting .310. Big curveball for a strike. 0-1. On deck, Paul LaDuca. Down and away, 1-1. 1 out, 4th inning, 5-0 Colorado. Home runs by Johnson, Burnitz, and then a 2-run home run by Vinny Castilla after Helton singled in the other run. 1-2 to Shawn Green. Tomorrow night, Hideo Nomo and Scott Ellerton. Thursday afternoon, Jose Lima and Sean Estes maybe. The weatherman actually talking about rain tomorrow and snow on Thursday. 2-2. So Green has a look at Glenn Hoffman. Bradley at first, 1 out. Five runs, 7 hits for the Rockies, including 3 home runs. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Fastball. Boy, that was hit late. It bounced over the far end of the Dodger dugout. Two and 2 to Shawn Green. Three and 2. Breaks off a slider. So he gave up the base hit to his tourist. Castilla bailed him out, taking a hit away from Bradley, and now goes 3 and 2 to Shawn Green. Last year, left-handers hit only .230 against Kennedy, so he can be very effective. And down goes Shawn. High fastball to put him away. That is also the 5th strikeout for Joe Kennedy. Since it is cool, he's allowed to blow on his hands. So the batter is LaDuca. He hit a bullet in the 2nd inning, but it was speared at shortstop by Royce Clayton. 2 out in the 4th. 5-0 Rockies. Kennedy is really giving Bradley a bad time. That's about the 3rd time Kennedy is pitching to the plate and Bradley is running back to first base. He hadn't been able to read him at all. Rockies 5, Dodgers nothing. And there goes Bradley. Got a big jump on a high leg kick. Steals it easily. So each time as Kennedy was going to the plate, Bradley was going back to the bag, and finally I guess he spotted the key, and as soon as Kennedy raised that right leg high enough, why, Bradley was off. That's why they try to teach these fellas the slide step, where you don't raise that front leg like that. Makes it so much easier. So Bradley steals it, and LaDuca trying to pick him up. 1-1. Ball 2. On deck, Juan Encarnacion. Dodgers with a record of 9-3. They were 4-2 at Dodger Stadium, and they've won 5 out of 6 on the road. Ground ball back at third. There's Vinny Castilla. The long throw and the stretch by Helton. So the Dodgers lead Bradley, but it's Vinny Castilla who stopped them, and at the end of 3.5, 5-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. Remember the Aflac trivia question. In 1995, Vinny Castilla was part of only the 2nd foursome to hit 30 home runs in a season. Can you name the first? And you're right. If you remember the Dodgers of long ago, Garvey, Smith, Say, and Baker. Baker joining the group with his last at bat that year. Kit Pello, Matt Holliday, and Joe Kennedy in that order against Kaz Ishii, who's given up 7 hits and 5 runs, including 3 home runs. Kid Pello struck out in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. Pello can play a corner on the infield. He can play the outfield. He's in right field tonight. And he could catch. So he could be a 3rd string catcher in an emergency. 1-0. Ball 2. Pello is another fellow who paid his dues. 7 years in the minor leagues. He was called up in August 2 years ago. His manager was Bucky Dent at Omaha. 2-0. 3-0. So Kaz Ishii struggling, down 5-0 and behind in the count. 3-0 to Pello. Matt Holliday on deck. And that's ball 4. The second walk given up by Kaz, and the batter will be Matt Holliday. Holliday, 24 years old, 6'4", 235. They say the ball just jumps off his bat. Ball 1. So LaDuca gone out to talk to Kaz while Holliday just waits. He has a lot of power. In fact, they tell us he hit the 402 sign in St. Louis Sunday. Hit a line drive in and out of Hernandez's glove, and it went as a base hit in the 2nd inning. Just too hot to handle. 1 ball and no strikes. Breaking ball missed. So Ishii walked Burnitz, who was then thrown out to end the 3rd. Then he opened up the 4th by walking Pello, and now he's behind a Holliday. 2-0. That's a high strike on the outside part. 2-1. Holliday, as we mentioned, as a fine quarterback, did everything but run well, and after the base hit, they were running him and he was thrown out easily. Two and 1. Ball 3. Three and 1. We'll watch Pello. He's not going on ball 4. So a storm signal is up. Kaz has really walked 3 in a row. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Dodgers may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Dodgers. And Jim Colburn going out to the mound now to see if he can't settle Kaz down. The batter is Joe Kennedy, the pitcher, with 2 on and nobody out. And if we expected, as we see Duaner Sanchez get up in the Dodger bullpen, if we expect Kennedy to bunt, well, back in the 2nd inning, he swung at the first pitch with a man aboard and fouled out. Oh, we shall see. So Jim Colburn holding court out there, and the Dodger infield along with the battery listening, and Joe Kennedy will be coming up. 2 on, nobody out. Kennedy, of course, over in the American League with Tampa Bay, did not bat except in a National League game, but he got the bunt down, and Beltre wanted to go to 3rd badly, and at the last minute decided to go to 1st. In fact, his tourist was holding his hands in the air as if say, here, here, come to me. But Adrian went to first, so the sacrifice works. So no doubt he was bunting, and Beltre was charging it. And when he picked it up and looked, Ishii wanted the ball, but he decided to take the out at first. So now second and third, one out. The infield is in, and Aaron Miles at the plate. Miles 1 for 2 after having a 4-hit game Saturday. And a big chopper to the shortstop as Turris holds the man, 2 down. So 2 out runners at second and third, 5-0 Rockies. Boy, the wind has really picked up, and it is a cold wind blowing from the left field corner and making the flags dance. As we said, they're talking snow here. Snow kidding on Thursday. Here's Royce Clayton. Tried to bunt for a base hit. Beltre got him. Grounded out, moving a man along in the 3rd inning. Big curveball smothered by LaDuca. Ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 4th. 5-0 Colorado. So an icy wind coming out of the west. 1 ball and no strikes. Ishii trying to stay in the ball game. 2-0. Base on balls got him in trouble. Pello walked. Holiday walked. Kennedy sacrificed. Miles grounded to his tourist. So 2 out. And Clayton at the plate, and the big man on deck, Todd Helton. And there's a base hit into left. Roberts was deep, comes to the plate, trying to get somebody, but no chance. It is 7-0 Colorado. As Royce Clayton singles sharply to left to pick up 2. So the walks are cashed in. Now only Clayton and Kennedy have failed to score. Fastball at the knees, and Clayton drilled it. So Ishii is due to bat 4th when the Dodgers come up, and he's down 7-0 in the 4th inning. And you know, that brings up a consideration when you play a series here and then, let's say, go home to play the Giants. Your big concern not only to win here, but you hope you don't burn up your bullpen. And it has happened to every manager who has come through here. So here are the Dodgers coming in, having won 9 out of 12, 5 straight, leading the Giants and the Padres by 3.5. The dreaded day off. I'm sure Jim Tracy, like every manager, felt that way. Helton, a pop fly. His tourist will take care of it. However, the Rockies scored 2 more. They've had 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and lead 7-0. Home runs by Johnson, Burnitz, and Castillo have given the Rockies a 7-0 lead as we go to the 5th inning. Chopper wide of first to Helton, low behind Kennedy, backed up by Johnson, and safely aboard as the Dodgers get Encarnacion at first base. We'll wait for the scoring. So a big chopper fielded by Helton, and he throws behind Kennedy, so they should give Helton an error, and it brings up Adrian Beltre. However, they are going to give Encarnacion a base hit, and he will gladly take it. By the way, charity begins at home. That got away. So down to second base goes Encarnacion. Todd Helton owns a 73-game errorless streak going back to July of last year. So it could be a little provincialism trying to keep it alive. Juan Encarnacion, remember, went 227 without an error. He's at second. And Beltre trying to pick him up. Foul ball off his foot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Seven runs, 8 hits for the Rockies. 3 home runs. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Over the years, the Dodgers have scored a lot of runs here, averaging 7 per game. They actually, one time, hold your breath, scored 22 runs. That was July of 2001. And if you're wondering, twice over the years, the Dodgers have been scoreless here. 2-2 to Adrian Beltre. Jose Hernandez on deck. Foul back. For the Rockies, they have a problem. They're paying almost half of their base salary to players who aren't playing. The Rockies' base salary payroll is $65 million. But they're paying $2 million of Mike Hampton's salary, and then they have a lot of high-priced guys on the shelf. Denny Nagel gets $9 million. He can't play. Larry Walker gets $12.5 million. He can't play. Preston Wilson with knee surgery, he gets $9 million. He can't play. They'll put it all up. $32.8 million to salary to players who can't play. Ball 3. 32-8 to the walking wounded. 32-6 for the other players on the active roster. So you can understand why owners have gray hair. 3-2 to Adrian Beltre. Little roller foul. Well, they have now decided that was an error, and it should have been. So that's that for Helton's little streak. Kennedy had to make 10 pitches to go after Asturias. Now he's going to make his 9th pitch to Beltre. And that's pulled foul. So he's going to make at least 10 against Adrian. And I bet that stung a little bit. It is cold enough that if you hit the bat with the ball either at the end of the bat or on the handle, you're going to feel it. 3-2. Curveball got him. Whoa, what a pitch. 3-2, a 78-mile-an-hour rainbow. The last pitch that Beltre expected, he thought it was going to be a fastball up and outside. Instead, a big spinner, and down he goes. Big pitch by Joe Kennedy. Beltre locked to the plate. That is also the 6th strikeout for Kennedy. Hernandez singled to center field in the 3rd inning. Remember, he hit it right through the box, so Kennedy says hello to him, as if to say, I remember you. 1 ball and no strikes. Top of the 5th, 7-0 Rockies. Right. 1-1. Joe Kennedy last year was 3-12. The year before 8-11. And the year before that 7-8. A breaking ball strike. Got the curveball in there. Of course, it should again be repeated, the fact that when Kennedy went 3-12 last year, he had a bad arm but did not want to quit, didn't want to come out. Pitched with it, paid the price. Breaking ball hit to center. It looks playable. However, the wind will bring it right to the center field of Burnett. 2 down, and the batter will be Ishii. Meanwhile, as we see the evidence of the wind, a reminder, we're here tomorrow night on Fox, then Thursday afternoon, then the Dodgers go home for the weekend with the Giants, all 3 on UPN 13. And of course, every Dodger game on 980 KFWB, Ross Porter and Rick Monday, 1330 KWKW, Jaime Harin, Pepe Yiniguez, Fernando Valenzuela. So Bruce Chen is coming up now to bat for Kaz Ishii. So with the Dodgers down 7-0. Chen at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. So Ishii went 4 innings and gave up 7 runs. Fastball picks up the corner for a strike, and the count 1-1. So for Kaz Ishii, a very disappointing outing, and he gives way to Chin-Feng Chen. 1 ball, 1 strike. And another strike. 1-2. Down in the pen, Duana Sanchez begins to loosen up, so he'll be coming in a 7-0 Rockies lead. 1-2. 2-2. So Joe Kennedy putting on a show so far. And ball 3. Chin-Feng Chen recalled from Vegas the 13th of April. He was hitting .316 when they called him up. Made his debut this year as a pinch hitter against San Diego and popped up, and this time fouls it away. So for the Dodgers, perhaps a glimpse of the future. Chin-Feng Chen. 3-2. Encarnacion at second with 2 out. Strike 3 call. Fastball outside corner. Hit 91 and knee high to put him away. No runs, no hits. An error, a man left, and 7-0 Rockies. 7-0 in favor of the Rockies as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Duana Sanchez out of the Dodger bullpen to pick up for Kaz Ishii, who went 4 innings and gave up 7 runs, 8 hits. He also walked 3 and paid the price of 3 home runs. Johnson and Burnett each with the bases empty, and Castillo with a man aboard. So Ishii is gone and Sanchez picks up. For Duana Sanchez, he's in his 7th game and he has an earned run average of 2.7. We're waiting for LaDuca, who had an equipment change, and we're about ready to go to the bottom of the 5th. Dodgers meanwhile have been stopped dead by Joe Kennedy. The big left-hander has struck out 7 in 5 innings. That's a strike. 0-1 to Vinny Castilla. Hit into a force play in the 1st inning. Hit a 2-run home run in the 3rd. Made a dazzling play on a ball hit by Bradley. Right. 0-2. Vinny Castilla batting .289. So he has come back to Colorado and doing just what they thought he could do. And a hopper smothered by Green. He'll have to do it himself, and does. Sean Green making an excellent play at first base. 1 away. Well, it's a season to remember, a year filled with unbelievable moments. Beginning May 22nd, the best yet to come. as the Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week returns, the first of 18 weeks of what promises to be maybe the greatest season in recent memory. It'll all begin May 22nd on Fox. Ball one to Charles Johnson. Johnson told the Dodgers it was going to be a long night. He hit one over the 390 sign in deepest left center, and that got the Rockies going. Then Burnett followed with a home run upstairs to right field. And then Castilla whistled a line drive into the left field seats with a man aboard in the third. So on the wings of 3 home runs, the Rockies lead 7-0. 2-0. Little ground ball is terse there. 2 down. Jeremy Burnett's coming up. A towering home run in the second inning. Walked and was thrown out trying to steal in the third. Jeremy, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, hitting .297. He could hit a ton here without a doubt. Check swing, and it'll cost a strike. 0-1 to count to Jeremy Burnett. Jeremy hit as many as 38 home runs when he was playing for Milwaukee. He hit 34 for Milwaukee. Playing for the Mets and Dodgers, he hit 31. He'll hit plenty here. Line drive, a one-hopper off the glove as Turris recovers, gets him. Solid play by Cesar Izturis. And the Rockies, for the first time tonight, go out in order. And at the end of 5, 7-0. Well, it was the beginning of some great safety measures this day. On this day in 1941, the Dodgers began to wear inner linings in their caps that eventually led to helmets. Let's get back to the ballgame. Drag bunt by Roberts, and he's out. There was a crowd, but Aaron Miles was able to handle the throw in a traffic jam at the bag. That was a good play by the little second baseman, as well as an accurate throw by Todd Helton. Pretty good bunt. Watch Helton now, and there's the crowd, and Miles in and out, and got out of the way. So the bunt goes 3-4, 1 out, and the batter will be Cesar Izturis. So Todd Helton, who committed an error on the ball grounded by Encarnacion that snapped his streak, now comes right back with a good play. Izturis has dazzled with the glove, and he has also had a base hit in the 4th inning, so he has hit safely in 9 straight. Right. Kennedy has had great control. He has struck out 7, and he has not walked a batter. 1-1. Well, it could be folks down around La Mesa could be seeing this game, which would mean his mom and dad be watching him pitch. Chopper, nice big hop for Clayton. 2 down. So if so for John and Holly, we sure hope you enjoy watching your son. He's putting on quite a show. Milton Bradley hit back to the box and then was robbed of a hit on a wonderful play by Vinny Castilla. 7-0 Rockies, top of the 6th. Ball 1. Fastball hit up the middle, off the glove of Miles, picked up by Clayton. Bradley's aboard. So that's the way it goes in baseball. You hit a hard shot and Castilla turns it into an out. Then you roll one up the middle and you get a base hit. So Bradley at first, and the batter is Sean Green. For the Dodgers, certainly not wearing down the fences. That's only their third hit. Green grounded out and struck out. Going after a low fastball. He struck out on a high fastball last time up in the fourth inning. Tomorrow night, Hideo Nomo and Scott Ellerton. Big curveball. 1-1. Outfield deep, just about straight away. And that's a ground ball backhanded by Miles, but he can't make a play. So Miles flashing to his right. Scooped up a lot of dirt with his pants. So with two out, infield singles, and the batter Paul LaDuca. Two on, two out, 7-0 Rockies. Dodgers trying somehow to get back into the game. Rockies scored 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth. All against Ishii. Slow breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. That's a thing that Kennedy has been able to do. He's been ahead of the count all night. Fastball in there. 0-2. You can't overly commit to anybody in this big ballpark. But what they do is they move Burnett slightly off center towards right center, because LaDuca gets a lot of hits that way, going the other way. 0-2. Fastball punched to Helton, and that'll be that. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. And at the end of 5.5 innings, 7-0 Rockies. Rockies leading the Dodgers 7-0, and there have been some dazzling defensive plays throughout the game. Turris flashing to his left. Great stretch by Sean Green. Wonderful play by Beltre on the bunt by Clayton. A dazzling never quit on a ball by Turris, and then the bunt by Roberts, and Todd Helton firing to Aaron Miles just in time. So the Rockies are out hitting, and the Dodgers are even with the glove. With the payoff on the board, 7-0 Colorado. It'll be Pello, Holiday, and Kennedy in that order. Ball 1. Pello is struck out and walked, 0 for 1. We can tell you in the San Diego-San Francisco game that's underway, and San Diego got 3 in the first inning. Brian Giles a home run with a man aboard. That's Brian Lawrence and Dustin Hermanson. Two 2-0. And that's lifted to right, and Encarnacion going back. 1 away. On the scoreboard, besides San Diego, Milwaukee beat Arizona. Florida had lost 3 in a row, but they knocked off Philadelphia. Philadelphia had won 4 in a row. Florida makes life miserable for the Phillies. Cubs got well. They beat Pittsburgh. Cincinnati, coming off a good series with the Cubs, knocked off Atlanta. Ball 1 to Matt Holliday. Montreal finally snapped an 8-game losing streak at the expense of the New York Mets. Beat him 2-1. Jose Vidro hit a home run in the 8th inning to win it. Now back. St. Louis leading Houston 5-1 in the 8th, and you're up to date. So Duano Sanchez has retired 4 in a row in relief of Kaz Ishii. Ball 2. Matt Holliday batting .354, singled and one. Two and two. Hand blowing time on the old plantation. It's cold. Got him. A good fastball takes care of Matt Holliday. 2 out in the 6th. Duano Sanchez retiring 5 in a row and pitching bare-armed on what seems to get colder as each inning goes by. And here's Joe Kennedy, who has stayed hot, fouled out and sacrificed, and has turned in a great 6 innings. Right. Kennedy has held the Dodgers to 4 singles, no walks, and he has struck out 7. Little foul off to the right, out of play, and the count 0-2. When the Dodgers hit in the 7th inning, Encarnacion, Beltre, and Hernandez, and as we mentioned earlier, one of the problems, you play here, and then can you get home with a bullpen in tatters or in shape? And that'll be the problem for Jim Tracy and Jim Colburn. Right now, Duano Sanchez, the first of what could be several. But down goes Kennedy. 2 strikeouts for Duano Sanchez. He's retired 6 in a row. And at the end of 6, it's 7-0. To you by GMC. We are professional grade. And by Nextel. Done. Call 1-800-NEXTEL-9. They go to the 7th inning. They're selling hot dogs. They're selling anything hot. And the pitch to Encarnacion in for a strike. 0-1. That's been Joe Kennedy all night. And it doesn't make any difference. Slider, fastball, or curve. He's getting them all over. Fastball. 1-1. Fastball lifted to center. Burnett started back, but he's got plenty of room. 1 away. With 1 out, the batter will be Adrian Beltre. Certainly far from a sellout crowd, but understandably a Tuesday night. Kids are still in school, and it is cold. And just to add to it, the weatherman talking about rain and snow. Ball 1 to Beltre, who has had a tough time. He has struck out twice. Last time, big curveball got him on the outside corner. One ball, no strikes. Against left-hand starters so far this year, the Dodgers are 2-1. That's the count on Beltre. Ball 3, so it is a rare 3-ball count. In fact, it was 3-2 when Beltre was caught looking in the 5th inning. Fastball hit to right field. Slicing as she goes down the line. Home run right down the line, and Beltre breaks the shutout. for Adrian, his 5th home run, his 13th run batted in, and that makes it 7-1 in favor of the Rockies. But again, for the Dodgers, it is another impressive at bat for Adrian Beltre. Pretty good fastball away, and he didn't try to turn on it. He just went with it, and especially here, you can reach the seats. So 7-1 as Beltre hits it out, his 5th of the year. He is now even with Bradley, 13 RBIs. Hernandez, ground ball to short. Royce Clayton, 2 out. The Dodgers are going to give Duaner Sanchez the rest of the night off, and Olmedo Signs is coming up. Those Signs will be the batter, and down in the pen, Darren Dreifert getting ready. So Olmedo Signs, the 2nd Dodger pitch hitter. Chin-Feng Chen batted and struck out in the 5th. Curveball strike. So Joe Kennedy consistently getting that first pitch over. 0-1. That's fouled away. So immediately here's Signs on a cold night. Called off the bench to bat, and he's not up there 30 seconds, and he's in a hole 0-2. Fastball hit to center. Burnett's, it's over his head, and he's not going to catch it. So Olmedo Signs a long double to center with 2 out. So the veteran Signs, that had to feel good. Not much of a chance to play, and finally you swing the bat and you get something for it. Burnett's trying to catch up to it, but that was over his head the moment it left the bat. He was a little late getting a start. So for Signs, that would be his first hit. He's 1 for 4, and here's Dave Roberts. And now ball 1, and that's the rare first pitch where the left-hander has missed. He's given up a home run and a double here in the 7th. Fastball, chopper to Aaron Miles, and that'll be that. So the Dodgers get 1 run, 2 hits, leave a man. Beltre goes the other way for his 5th home run of the year. It's 7-1 Rockies. Friends, the Dodgers host the Montreal Expos Friday, April 30th at 7:10. That'll begin a 3-game series, and all fans in attendance that Friday night receive a free Eric Gagne Cy Young bobblehead. Compliments of MasterCard. Call 323-2241-HIT or visit Dodgers.com for more information. Darren Dreifert will pick up for Duaner Sanchez, who picked up the pieces for Ishii. Dreifert in his 7th game, and the Dodgers down 7-1, bottom of the 7th. Aaron Miles, Royce Clayton, and Todd Helton in that order. Miles grounded to short, single to right, grounded to short again, 1 for 3, batting .293. When he singled in the 3rd inning, he stole second and eventually scored on a fly ball single by Todd Helton. 1-0. Right. 1-1. Hideo Nomo tomorrow night against Scott Ellerton, and Thursday, if they play, weather permitting, Jose Lima and Sean Estes. If you just joined us, they're talking about snow on Thursday. Fouled away. One year we played here. It was bitter cold, but we got the game in. We left. It began to snow. The Braves came in and they were snowed out. Dodgers are hoping they'll luck out, play Thursday, and then get out of here. Leave it to Houston. 1-2. And down goes Miles, so Dryford puts him on the shelf, and that'll bring up Royce Clayton. Clayton tried to bunt for a base hit. Beltre made a dazzling play to get him. Then he did a nice bit of hitting after Miles had stolen second in the third inning. Royce went the other way to move Miles over to third. And then last time up, he singled to left. Ball one. Dryford throwing a nice easy 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And another one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Little ground ball to Beltre. Juggled for a moment, but got his man anyway. I think that ball was spinning in his glove, and he was having a little bit of trouble getting a grip. Boy, tonight especially, any cold night, you certainly want to grab those stitches. So here comes Todd Helton. Helton, single to the hole at short, flunked a fly ball single to left, and popped to short. So he went the other way 3 times with Kaz Ishii, and he's 2 for 3. Ball 1. Dryford and Helton. Helton 286 with a home run and 4 runs batted in against him. Two and 0. When the Dodgers bat in the 8th inning, they'll have Izturis, Bradley, and Green. The wind is now kind of blowing in, but blowing left to right. Kind of swirling around the ballpark. 2-1 to count. Three and 1 to count. Dryford hits 93 on the gun, but he was below the zone. Wilson Alvarez begins to throw in the Dodger bullpen. So Helton draws a walk. Vinny Castillo in the 3rd inning came up with Helton aboard and just scorched one down the left field line. No doubt about it. It got in the seats in a hurry. One of 3 home runs by the Rockies tonight, and one of 4 home runs in the game. So Castillo 1 for 3, hitting 283. Vinny with 5 home runs. A chopper to Beltre, the long way to Green. So no runs, no hits, a man left, and at the end at 7, it remains 7-1 Colorado. Friends, don't forget the Dodger Coca-Cola Family Pack is back. That's right. You get 4 reserve level tickets, 4 Dodger dogs, 4 Cokes, and a parking pass for $48. The family pack available at every Sunday and Wednesday home game all season long. That means this Sunday you can use the family pack, bring the family, and see the Giants and the Dodgers. For more information, call 323-224-1-HIT. The Rockies have decided that that's enough, and their newest Rocky, Tim Harakala, is coming in. So on a cold night, the young left-hander Joe Kennedy did exceptionally well, and here's Harakala facing Cesar Izturis. One and 1 to count. Tim Harakala from West Palm Beach, Florida, lives in Lake Worth, Florida. Hard ground ball. Up with it is Clayton. Well, one shortstop takes care of the other, and we have 1 out in the 8th inning. Harakala was originally selected by the Mariners in the 34th round. out of Florida Atlanta University. He was their minor league pitcher of the year, but that was 10 years ago. Eventually he signed with the Red Sox, then he signed with the Brewers. He's been scrambling all of his baseball life trying to hook on. In November of last year he signed with the Rockies, and he signed. They also celebrated the birth of their daughter Allison. Milton Bradley hitting .260. Bradley hit back to the box, lost a hit on a great play by Vinny Castilla, and then singled up the middle in the 6th inning. So Milton 1 for 3, could be 2 for 3. Two and two the count. Foul back. Aricala is 6'2", 185, and he will be 33 the middle of July. Boy, he's labored a long time. Started as a professional in 1992. Came up for one game in 1995, went right back down again. Little ground ball to Miles. 2 out. So Tim Aricala gets 2 outs for Joe Kennedy's win, with the Rockies out in front 7-1. Here's Sean Green. Sean grounded out, struck out, and singled. We're in the 8th. The Rockies pretty much shredded the Dodger hopes by the 4th inning. They had 2 in the 2nd, 3 more in the 3rd, and then for good measure 2 more in the 4th. They had a home run by Charles Johnson in the 2nd inning, home run by Jeremy Burnitz in the 2nd inning, a 2-run home run by Vinny Castilla in the 3rd, and that was all she wrote. Dodgers manufacturing 1 run, home run to right field by Adrian Beltre. Foul back. So it's been Kennedy and Aricala. Not exactly household names, but of course the Rockies are in a state of flux, not only on the mound but in the outfield, minus Preston Wilson and Larry Walker. 1 and 2. Sean batting .318. Crowd groaning. They want every pitch a strike. 2 and 2. Got him. So Green freezes on that pitch. Down go the Dodgers, and at the end of 7.5, 7-1 Colorado. New 2004 Ford F-150. Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-1 Rockies. Guillermo Mota comes out of the Dodger bullpen. You know, it doesn't take much to be a mind reader to figure out what Jim Tracy is thinking. And if you've been around baseball long enough, they are all the same, and we're talking about managers. The Dodgers came in here with a 5-game winning streak. And the worst thing that could happen to a manager with a club that's won 5 in a row, the dreaded off day. I don't know how many times I've heard managers say that. When things are going poorly, you kind of welcome an off day to try to reassemble and get your gear in order. But when you're winning every day, you don't want an off day. Well, the Dodgers got it, and now they've been whumped 7-1. So Charles Johnson facing Guillermo Mota. Slider, ball 1, 1-0. 7 runs, 8 hits for the Rockies, 1 run, 6 hits for the Dodgers in the 8th. And a good fastball. So a slider, and now a fastball at 95. It's been Ishii, Sanchez, Dreifert, and now Mota. Boy, he's throwing hard. Another 96 fastball. 2-1. And a slider. 2-2. Boy, when you can throw that hard, he throws the slider at 88 and the fastball at 96. 2-2 to Charles Johnson. In the dirt. Well, LaDuca with a new ball. 3-2 the count to Charles Johnson. Maybe trying to take a little something off the fastball and it just slipped. Still 3-2. Johnson, Burnett, and Pello in that order. 7-1 Rockies, bottom of the 8th. LaDuca, Encarnacion, and Beltre in the 9th. By the way, LaDuca lined out once. He is 0 for 3, so his 11-game hitting streak would be on the line when he comes up in the 9th inning. And a high chopper. His tourist says he'll take care of it. One away. Friends, Monday, May the 10th, get ready for the next great thing in sports entertainment. Max Kellerman comes to Fox Sports Net. He won't pull any punches. He'll go with the big names in sports 5 nights a week. The premiere of IMAX, Monday, May 10th, only on Fox Sports Net. Jeremy Burnett, homered, walked, grounded out. 1 for 2. .96-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Hideo Nomo and Scott Ellerton tomorrow night. Jose Lima and Sean Estes Thursday afternoon. And then home Friday night with the Giants. Fastball. Whoa, boy, that was 97. 2-1 the count to Jeremy Burnett. Three and 1 the count. Mota did not pitch on Sunday. He pitched briefly Saturday afternoon. 3-2. So if nothing else, you try to utilize what you have, even though you're taking your beating. Then you keep the pen fresh with Dreifert and Mota. Kit Pello on deck. 1 out, 8th inning. 7-1 Rockies. Time. Means it better be ready at the plate when you have a guy throwing 97. And a hard ground ball speared by Green. Spots it high to Mota, but Guillermo stays with it. 2 down. And with 2 out in the 8th, Kit Pello coming up. Pello tonight struck out, walked, and flied to right, deep to right. Encarnacion caught it on the track. Turk Wendell is loosening up now in the Rockies bullpen. So we'll see about Haricala, whether he'll pitch or Turk will. From the looks of things, they'll bring Wendell in. One ball and no strikes. 7 runs, 8 hits for the Rockies, 1 run, 6 hits for the Dodgers. Clint Hurdle is home. Winning tonight, it would get his record 3-1. On the road, they lost 6 of their first 9. And of course, that was bad news for Clint. Last year, they only won 25 games on the road, but they are definitely Jekyll and Hyde. They're not much at sea level, but boy, they raise Cain up here. Their record at home last year, Rockies were 17 games above 500, 49-32. Two and one to Kit Pello. Ball 3. Matt Holliday on deck. To repeat, the Dodgers will have LaDuca, Encarnacion, and Beltre. Did he hold up? Yes, he did. Ball 4. So Mota gives up a walk. Driver gave up a walk. Ishii walked 3. And here's Matt Holliday, the brilliant high school quarterback out of Oklahoma. And the Rockies think that he has a great future. They like the way the ball jumps off his bat. He singled, line drive off the glove of Hernandez, walked, scored a run, and struck out. Ball 1. Reyes waiting his turn on deck. He would bat for Harakala. Fouled away. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Matt Holliday. 7-1 Rockies in the 8th. Dodgers won 2 out of 3 from the Rockies at Dodger Stadium, but the Rockies won the last game, so they're trying to make it 2 in a row. Holliday batting .333. That's in there. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. That's the old story. You back out and say to the umpire, that sounded outside. 1-2. Two and 2. Mota wants a new ball. Kerwin Danley obliges. Two balls, 2 strikes. Just off the plate. 3-2. So Pello at first, Holliday at the plate with 2 out, and a 3-2 pitch. The runner goes. It is ball 4. Well, the old story, no matter how hard you throw, you have to throw strikes. And Mota, after getting the first 2 out, now walks 2. And hitting for Harakala is Reyes. So Rene Reyes checking in at the plate. He's from Venezuela. 5'11", a very stocky 210. Fouled away. He signed with the Rockies as a catcher. He played in the Futures game in Chicago prior to the All-Star game last year, so they think a lot of him. Foul ball down the line, out of play. Last year, Reyes finished 2nd in the Coast League. He's a switch hitter, and he batted .343 for Colorado Springs. He's 26 years old, And the Rockies signed him as a free agent out of Venezuela. 0-2. Reyes batting 167. And that popped out of the mitt, and the runners move up. It was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and LaDuca got the mitt on it, but that's about it. That thing was flying. So we'll assume it's a wild pitch. But after getting the first two out on ground balls, Johnson and Burnett, Mota walks two, commits a wild pitch, and he has the count 1-2 to Rene Reyes. Foul back. Reyes is one of those fellas, you watch him play, and I guess the game comes so easily to him that it doesn't look like he's bearing down. And Clint Hurdle got all over him last August. He had a reputation of coasting, and Hurdle just wouldn't allow it. 1-2. Fouled away. So Rene Reyes fouling him off. He was rated the 6th best prospect in the Rockies organization before spring training. 1-2. Mota's throwing 97, but he's also making a lot of pitches. 30 pitches in the inning. And wasting a lot of pitches after getting the first two outs. And it's lifted into shallow left center. Bradley is calling. True to his word. So no runs, no hits, 2 left. And at the end of 8, 7-1. Here's a quick peek of what took place. Charles Johnson hit one in the 2nd inning. Jeremy Benitz followed with one upstairs. Then Vinny Castillo lowered the boom to left. Joe Kennedy pitching well. Adrian Beltre homered to right for the only Dodger run. Interesting, the Dodger bullpen has been excellent. The last hit for the Rockies came in the 4th inning against Ishii. Sanchez, Striford, and Mota had not allowed a hit. However, all the damage was done early. 7 runs in 4 innings against Ishii, while Kennedy 1 earned run in 7. Rene Reyes, who batted for Harakala, is now in left field, and Turk Wendell will bat in Holiday's spot and try to get 3 outs and end it here in the 9th inning. 7-1 Rockies. LaDuca has an 11-game hitting streak in jeopardy. A strike. LaDuca first time up in the 2nd inning. Hit one right on the button, but it was also right at Royce Clayton. Since then, grounded hard twice. 1-1 the count to Paul LaDuca. So Turk Wendell coming in to try and finish things up in his 5th game. Breaking ball away. Slider. So Wendell, who has been around, is now hoping to stay in one place for a while, called Denver. And a drive to left. Going back is Reyes to make the catch for the out. So the Turk gets 1 out. Stay tuned after the game. Highlights of today's sports action on Southern California Sports Report. Complete Dodger coverage and a lot more. And that'll be coming up next. So Juan Encarnacion facing Turk Wendell. Ball 1. Wendell has been around. He'll be 37 in May. Started to play professional way back in 1988. Ground ball to Clayton. Royce is on it, and the Dodgers down to their last out. Meanwhile, San Diego all over the Giants. 6-0 in the 4th inning. Adrian Beltre tied for second in the league. He's had 7 multi-hit games this year. Tonight he had his home run in the 7th inning. So 2 out in the 9th, 7-1 Rockies. They led 7-0, and for all intents and purposes, the game was over at the end of 4 innings. Line drive, base hit. So Beltre comes up with another multi-hit game, a home run to right and a line drive single to left. He was hitting .360 when he smoked that one. So Wendell gives up a hit. 7 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Rockies. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Joe Kennedy figures to come out on top, and Ishii figures to lose. Robin Ventura comes up the steps. He's out in front of the Dodger dugout if he can get a shot. Wendell with a big slider, and Jose going after it. Wendell originally selected by the Braves in the 5th round out of Connecticut. He lives here in Castle Pines, home of a rather famous golf course. 2-1. And a drive to left and deep. Rene Reyes going back, and this one hits the base of the wall. And on his way for 2 is Hernandez, with Beltre stopping at third. So with 2 out, Wendell gives up a single on a double. Dodgers at second and third, and Robin Ventura will get a chance to swing the bat for Guillermo Mota. So Hernandez hit that hard. He's 2 for 4. Hit the base of the wall. So here's Robin. Remember, he had a walk-off base hit to win a game, hitting .364, 4 RBIs. 4-1, 1-0. So a couple of veterans here, Robin Ventura at the plate and Turk Wendell on the mound. Wendell's out pitch is basically his slider, and of course his experience. He's a good fielder. One ball and no strikes. Nunez loosening up in the Colorado bullpen just in case. And Wendell now is 1 pitch away from loading him up. So the Turk trying to throw some strikes here. 3-0. That's one. Another one. So 3-2 the count to Robin Ventura. 2 out. Runners at second and third, and the Rockies leading 7-1. Time, no pitch, no pitch. And it's ball 4 to load him up. So Wendell got the first 2 outs. LeDuc on a fly ball to left, and Carnacion on a ground ball. And then Beltre single sharply to left. Hernandez double to left. Ventura draws the walk. And now Dave Roberts. Bob Apodaca is out there talking to Wendell. And Nunez continues to throw in the pen. As the Dodgers try to get off the floor, you'd certainly be doing it the hard way with 2 out in the 9th, down 7-1. And that's ball 1. So Jason Grabowski up there with the bases loaded. 2 out, 9th inning, 7-1 Rockies. Foul back. Dave Roberts had fly to center, struck out, was thrown out trying to bunt, grounded out. So Grabby up there now hitting for him. One and one. That's a strike. Outside corner, a slider that thrown about 78 miles an hour. Got him. So Wendell struggles, but Wendell wins. The Dodgers leave 3. And the Rockies win the first game of the 3-game series 7-1. The player of the game would certainly be Joe Kennedy. Brilliant 7 strikeouts while shutting the Dodgers down with 1 run. The only run, the home run hit by Adrian Beltre in the 7th inning, but Kennedy was brilliant, and the Dodgers down by 7 early never could recover. Don't forget tomorrow night Hideo Nomo, Scott Ellerton, game 2 of the 3-game series. Once again, the final score: Rockies 7, Dodgers 1. For Ross Porter and Rick Monday, this is Vin Scully saying so long from Coors Field. Now for Dodger postgame coverage and all the day's local sports news, let's go to the Southern California Sports Report. Talk to you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.